I wouldn't threaten somebody online like that. So him calling me an internet tough guy was pretty funny. Thank God he was able to get that in on Twitter before his Twitter account was suspended. This looks like a permanent one too, I think.
It was, Anthony, like your book, permanently suspended. Isn't that exciting? Is that impressive to you? Is that impressive to you? That I'm permanently suspended? Can I come on your show now? That's what he said after Sarah Silverman called me a white nationalist. He's like, maybe me and Brennan have more in common than I had originally thought.
I'm not even sure. Like, I can't even find his account anymore. So I don't know. He might be persona non grata for good on X.
Then what should I do? I hope he has some advice for me.
And it's another thing I don't really understand either, this canceling, reporting people, getting their accounts shut down. Like, it's cheap. It's a pussy.
Oh, he's on my side?
I don't even know what. I kind of know what happened with Kevin Brennan. I don't think Kevin liked my description, my take on their big trip to Atlantic City. I don't think he appreciated that I said it looked like it was done on the cheap. It looked juvenile, and it looked like a bunch of guys that were way too old to be that excited to be in a single king bedroom hotel room in Atlantic City. You know, you're in your 20s, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a king. We're not staying in the room. We're going to go downstairs and gamble and do shit. Once you hit the age of every guy that was in that hotel room in AC for the Kevin Brennan event at the Borgata, I believe it was, and I don't even know if there was an event. It's just so vague. Once you reach the age of all those guys, there's a couple of things you shouldn't do anymore. One is constantly threaten to kick each other's asses. This is hilariously funny to me. Hilariously funny. Brennan, has been on Twitter, which that's a whole other story we'll get to. On Twitter, he called me out for being an internet tough guy.
That's exactly what he is. See how he is on this show? He's calm, cool, collected. But go to his Twitter. See if he's calm, cool, collected on his Twitter. So again, he's and the tweet of him with the guns and the money on his side table. Even Missy was like, "You look. It looks like you're one of these guys that you're always making jokes about on Twitter. Not even jokes, making blanket statements about certain cultures." But now he's all reasonable. Because he wants to seem like a reasonable guy. But as soon as he hangs, I've done shows with him. I've hung out with him, done his show, hung out with Sullivan's after. And then as soon as he leaves, or if he gets on the train or wherever he gets, then he goes back to being a Twitter tough guy.
Right.
But the picture with the guns, the same day he's denying being a Twitter tough guy, what a fucking clown. Literally a clown.
Put up your dukes.
Oh, so now he's like, right. Now I don't, right. But again, people say, I'm aren't you a Twitter tough guy? Not really. I just say whatever, but I'm not always going after like, hey, black people suck. And then does he ever say it to their face? He runs into a lot of black people, especially worked at Company Media. Does he ever go, hey, why don't you take this shit somewhere else? He's a coward. He'll get into a fight with ladies. But not a dude. He has such a problem with black people. Does he ever mention anything to their face when he sees them?
Not that I know of.
And is he ever going to see, and then even the stuff with, remember with, he's talking all shit about Bill Burr. Bill Burr's there. And then he goes up to Bill Burr. He's like, hey, Bill. And Bill Burr's like, get the fuck out of here. And then Club Soda Kenny unceremoniously takes him outside from the Comedy Cellar. And he doesn't even put up a fight there. But then he goes on his show. Then he acts like a tough guy. Why did he tell Club Soda Kenny to go fuck himself? Because he's afraid. I mean, he's a tough guy. And then even he talks shit about Bill Burr and his wife. And then he wants Bill Burr to, and then he goes up to Bill Burr at the Comedy Cellar table. He's like, Bill Burr, hey, you want to just let bygones be bygones? And Bill Burr's like, go fuck yourself, man. What are you? How do you in mind? Bill Burr doesn't need Cumia for anything. Nobody does. Gino did, and look what he did to Gino. And again, he didn't have the balls to fire Sam. That was really what I said. That's why I got all defensive, because I said Gavin knows better than anybody, and Opie knows better than anybody. What a bitch coward this is. He wouldn't even fire his own staff. He made Gavin do it because Cumia is a fucking coward. Let's hear what else he has to say. Is fucking coward.
Internet tough guy. And for those of you that know me, I am the last thing but an internet tough.
No, you're absolutely you want everyone to think you're this tough guy with the guns and everyone should fear you and you're a bitch. That's it. Anybody who knows me, what do you say? Anybody who knows me, anybody who knows you knows you're a fucking coward. Ask Gavin what he thinks of you. Ask Opie what he thinks of you.
This is hilariously funny to me. Hilariously funny. Brennan, has been on Twitter, which that's a whole nother story we'll get to. On Twitter, he called me out for being an internet tough guy. Put up your dukes. Internet tough guy. And for those of you that know me, I am the last thing but an internet tough guy. I never threaten to fight people.
Pretending to be a tough guy. You don't have to threaten to fight people to be an internet tough guy. You're representing yourself as this tough guy who doesn't take no shit, and everyone should fear you. And in reality, you're just a bitch. You're a bitch who only fights women and didn't have the balls to fire his own staff. Made somebody else do it because you're a bitch.
They are constantly doing it. Like all these stuttering.
Right. But what about these guys? Right. Make it about Stuttering John. They are clowns. To be fair, they are clowns. That Stuttering John's gonna fight Shuli. But that's all Cumia's buddies, right? Isn't he? Isn't he good friends with Shuli? Just did Shuli's show last night.
It's true.
So Shuli, I've never said I'm gonna fight Stuttering John. I'm going to fight Shuli. But remember, Bob was going to beat me half to death. I'm like, I'm still waiting. But so Cumia's like, no, it's not about him. But what about, hey, look over here to change the subject. Hey, look over here. These are the guys that are a problem. No, Cumia wants to have this image and a reputation of being a tough guy. He's not afraid of black people. He's not afraid of this. He's afraid of everybody. He was afraid to fire his own staff. He's not afraid of black women. That's a fact. But he wants to, like, I just call it like it is. I'm not afraid of black people. He's literally afraid of black people, black dudes.
John and Kevin and all of Kevin's cronies, they are constantly saying, really? Once you show up, I'll show you. You chicken shit, too scared. I was there. Where were you? I was waiting. It's like, guys, you're at least in your 50s. And some of them are in their 60s. And there comes a time you just stop that type of insane juvenile behavior. So threatening each other with fisticuffs at a certain age, it just becomes silly.
Also, I take myself off screen so I can eat. Also, I had warned Carl's brother. If you show up in Atlantic City, I'm going to consider it a threat. So again, I wasn't bluffing. Carl's brother showed up. I'm like, if you take another step toward me, I'm going to consider it a physical threat. So again, he wanted to hug it out. Because he thought it was pro wrestling. He thought we were faking. I'm like, I'm not faking.
It kind of reminded me of Anthony going up to Bill Burr now. That was like Grant coming up to you.
Right. And
then I'm
he's probably like, Bill, we're cool, right? And Bill's like, get away from me.
Get you and your blank brother and your whole
away from
family.
me. And again, this all kind of came to head because, people are like, Brennan just talks a lot of shit. The cops stopped me. I'm like, let's go. I walk the walk. I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. But I'm saying I'm not out there like, hey, let's fight. Literally, people have put their hands on me in the podcast world. That's a fact. And I was never like, hey, I'm going to get into this job so Bobby Kelly can attack me or Gary Goldman or Jimmy Martinez. And usually bigger guys than me. Everybody that's attacked me has outweighed me.
Especially Bob Kelly.
So the fact that Cumia's like, Brennan just talks a lot of shit. Cumia talks a lot of shit. This tough guy, he wants people to think he's like not afraid. I'll say whatever I want about black people. I'm not afraid. Right. I doubt he's never even said a word. I know he's talking about the Long Island Railroad and some black guy was on the train. Cumia doesn't say a word to anybody. He's afraid. Am I afraid? Maybe I should be. Maybe I should be afraid of cops. Maybe I should be afraid of judges. Maybe I should be afraid of Twitter. But I'm not. I'm done. But Cumia is still afraid. That's why he's making such a big point about it. That's why he won't let it go. Because he knows he's a bitch. He knows the bottom line is he didn't have the balls to fire his own staff. He made Gavin do it. So again, he's like, well, no, I was in South Carolina. Well, he's coming up to New York this Wednesday. For what? So that's an easy trip from South Carolina. It's an easy trip. So he came up to New York 2 weeks ago to do Jimmy Jam Norton's podcast. He flew up to do Legion of Skanks. But he can't fly up to fire his staff. He's a bitch.
That's a good point.
The other thing is, don't look so excited to be in a single king.
Right. We already heard this. Right. I can't really with this shitty channel. I can't fast forward 7 seconds like on YouTube, even if he's on my thing. The point is, he's mad that we were all in a room. The reason we were all in a room, and again, I don't know what Stevie thought was happening, but the reason we were all in the room was because I was still going to go to the gig. And because if I don't go to the gig, people will be like, Brennan didn't even go to the gig. So I knew people were flying in or whatever. So I'm going to go to the gig. And then I thought, we'll do it in 2 rooms. We'll split the crew. We'll do it in Chad's room. We'll do it in my room. So if a lot of people want to show up, there's 2 rooms. So it won't be overcrowded. But again, then Chad was like, there's only 4 people here. It's boring. We're going to come over. I'm like, come over. And then it became more of a ridiculous situation that I couldn't even kind of really monitor because I was doing my show. So I would see the people coming and going, but I wasn't, and I don't think Stevie was acting as an official bouncer, like the fire department's going to come because we have too many people. So we weren't acting like this is incredible and we have a king bed cock blocking. We're just making the best of a situation that because the gig got canceled thanks to the people, the Carls, the Shuleys, that's what they do. They get people's gigs canceled because they think that's the highest form of entertainment. These are all pals of one Anthony Cumia. That's what they do.
I think also, real quick, if he tried to have any sort of event in Atlantic City right now, nobody would fucking show up for Anthony.
No, it'd be the same goons that, Joe
maybe,
Curry.
But he's trying to act like he's some sort of big swinging dick. Anthony, it's been over for you for a long time. Your last Comedians of the Compound, Atlantic City, with Berg helping carry that, was not very successful. So let's stop with all this acting like you're still some sort of big shot. We just went and had a good time 2 weekends ago. And get off of it. It's ridiculous.
Room at a hotel. There were about, 10 guys shoved into this hotel room. When you pan the camera around a casino hotel room that you're staying at, You should never see the bed.
Right.
A bunch of guys, you shouldn't like, oh, there's the bed.
So we should have taken out the bed? First of all, if you take out the bed, there's no place for the women to sit. Women need a chair. And we learned that from Keith the Cop. Pussy gets the couch. Remember he told it to Teamster Tim?
Right.
Pussy gets the couch. So we can't make ladies stand for hours. They'll get tired. Their cunts get tired. Their tits and ass get tired. So we need a place to sit. So now we shouldn't have a bed. We should have ripped the bed out. I'm sure those beds are pretty secure in the room, right? Aren't they drilled into the wall or whatever?
We could have pulled it into the hallway, just turned it sideways and tried to maneuver it out.
So there's more room for ballroom dancing? This guy's a fucking idiot.
There's stuff on the bed. You shouldn't see that. A suite is what you could get a little excited about.
Yeah, we've heard
that
this
way.
already.
In between going down to the casino, you're up in the suite partying with your friends, having a good time. You call up the butler. He brings wheels up a cart full of cases of beer on ice and wine and booze. It's 5 a.m, 6 a.m. You just get up from the casino a little while. You call up a giant breakfast for you and your friends to be put out on a big dining room table. You don't see a...
Yeah, last time he did that was back 15 years ago when O&A was still on satellite radio, and he had, a big following.
Yeah, he didn't have to do anything, and it was all taken care of for him. No, but so we're dealing with Cumia, who said I should have got a butler and have a massage table, or the guy who said I should have just got a couple of coolers of beer and dragged them up to my room, wheeled them up to my room. So I was in between.
Right.
I didn't get 3 coolers, and went to a liquor store, and then and how was I supposed to get the coolers? What was that? I was going to go to the store, buy coolers, buy a bunch of ice, and then go to the liquor store and buy a bunch of beer, and then wheel them up to my room. And security might be like,
bellhop.
You're not at a fucking Motel 6. You have to go to security. They might be like, what's in the coolers? And then you look like a cheap fuck. So in lieu of that, what I did was, I'm like, let's call room service. Let's see how long it takes to get the beer, because they said it was going to be like 20 or 25 minutes. And I was like, they don't have to make the beer. And then it actually got up there pretty expeditiously, 10 minutes or 15. And I'm like, it's not even that expensive. So I'm like, problem solved. If we need more alcohol, I didn't know how many people were going to be there. If we need more alcohol, I'll order it.
I would say on record, we had about 6 females in the room. I know people are like, oh, there was 2 or 3. There were actually 6, because we had John DiCaprio's girl. There was some other fans chick there.
Tigger?
There was Tarnish Maiden. No, Tigger didn't even make it up to the room, I don't think. Tarnish.
Soundboard.
KB's, yeah, that was Tarnish Maiden. We had Cookie, Shmuel Buckman's lady, and Lady KB. So I think that's 6 right there alone, off the top of my head. And also, did you know that Shmuel Buckman was live broadcasting your show from the room onto Dave Serra's channel while that was on? That was mind blowing. I found this all out as it was happening.
I think that worked out good, because when Tukey got there, remember I didn't have the audio working.
No, that was Kevin Soundboard. He was the one who got the video of that.
Because when I take out my headphones, when I unplug this from my computer, it automatically mutes everything. Yeah. I don't know why, but that's how they do it.
I asked him to stop, because I was like, come on, man. Like, why are you streaming a show that's streaming live?
I didn't care. I mean, I thought it was rude that Bentley was watching Melton sniping us.
Shouldn't seem like a good idea.
But then when I saw Bentley was watching Melton, then I went to Melton sniping us. And we are crushing Melton on the numbers. So right. I mean, that's because Melton always thinks Melton always thinks he has all these fans and everybody loves him, and then they have a chance to watch Melton watching us or just watching us directly, and we had at least twice what he had, maybe 3 times. He was at like 200 and we were at like 800.
Right,
where we're at now. Hit the like button.
He's sitting alone at that point.
You're sitting alone.
By himself, probably crying, and we're all in your room having a good time. All his friends are there. He wanted to be there, but
yeah, I refused. Again, I could have been like let's squash it. I'm like, no, Melton's not coming in this fucking room.
Right.
Bed. You see couches and big screen TVs and a massage room.
Yeah, we've heard this already.
That's something you feel a little bit like, hey, this is nice.
Last minute? Okay, the casino was sold out. But I'm supposed to do this all last minute. Hey, can I get a room with a massage room? Right. And a butler? Hey, can the butler massage me if push comes to shove? I mean, this guy's such a clown.
This feels like I'm in Vegas or a good hotel in Atlantic City. To see 10 guys jumping around like a bunch of Kansas City
Oh, all
in
right.
a
We gotta
single
watch
king room.
That wasn't me. But
you don't lose your channel for stuff like that. It's never something you say. It's what you show. How did Carter lose his channel?
it was John's anus.
Right.
His anus.
How did Gino lose his channel?
He's talking about, I think, COVID doing something like that? Or?
No, he showed a man's taint.
Oh, right. Also an anus. Holy shit.
If you don't show a man's taint, you'll be all right.
All right.
They have too many people talking on YouTube to police this. Plus, I didn't say it. Cumia said it. So take down his channel.
Like they're living large. Like they're players.
Cumia is kind of mad because he can't have fun anymore.
Right.
So that's why he's talking about coming to New York, and on Wednesday it's going to be fun. Maybe was he going to do Skanks again?
I was trying to figure out
was he going to do Jimmy Norton show again?
What
his
films
partying days are over. Gino drank him to death, and now he's like, Brennan doesn't even know how to party. Got it, old man. Now he's reminiscing when him and Joe Curry and Big A used to go to have these crazy wild parties, and Club Soda Kenny used to be on his side.
Right.
It was pretty douchey.
Was it cringe? Was it cringe and douchey, or just douchey?
Pretty douchey. So I assume, I can safely assume that I think Brennan saw me saying this on a previous show and got angry.
I really didn't. I mean, I got angry, but I wasn't angry. I was just show angry. Of course, I'm gonna have a little. I'm gonna get a little. I mean, I just pointed out the obvious that the gig got canceled because of people like Shuley and Carl, and that's what they do. You know, he's the guy who's like, you guys are all clowns, threatening to fight everybody and threatening to cancel everybody's gigs. And Shuley and Carl, the most guys prominent, they kind of started that business model. Let's get John's gigs canceled. Let's do this. Let's get that canceled. Let's dox his kids. Let's fight him. I mean, I don't know how many times Shuley said he wanted to fight me, and it's like, Shuley, you're nothing of a. You're not even as far as Jews go, you're a nothing. So no one's really afraid of the Woody Allens and the Dan Adamants of the world, but even they're a little bit tougher than Shuley. So these are all Cumia's pals that have started this business model of the fake fighting and the getting gigs canceled, and that's what happened. We got our gig canceled. So again, I was going because I didn't want to hear people go, Brennan didn't even show up. I want my money back. No refunds.
And said I was an internet tough guy. And even that is like, if you call someone out as an internet tough guy, aren't you pretty much saying, hey, tough guy, come on over here, I'll beat you?
Not really. I'm just stating a fact. I can say someone's fat just from my observation.
Yeah, he's jumping to conclusions there for sure.
No, but again, like I've said, I've done 2-3 hour shows with him, hung out at Sullivan's. He's very easygoing, and then as soon as he gets on a train on his phone, he becomes this different guy. He's like a tough guy. He wants to go at black people, and he was just surrounded by black people on 35th Street. And then all of a sudden, he's on the train, he's shitting on black people, shitting them to their face. Wouldn't that be more satisfying? More satisfactory? For a guy who hates black people, would it be good to get into a skirmish once in a while with a real black person instead of being an internet tough guy?
How do I have trouble with more black people on 32?
Right, on that same block.
Same thing.
And you don't even have a problem with black people.
Never a word out of me.
Maybe he was looking for Cumia.
He could have thought I was Cumia.
Up. I call you out. So even that had this element of a threat to it, you know. And it's like, I'm not fighting anybody.
I know. You're a lover, not a fighter. But check your Twitter. Check your Twitter. We know you're a gutless coward. You couldn't even come to New York to fire your staff, but now you coming here this Wednesday for what? To rehire them? Is that what you couldn't talk about? The little surprise? You're going to hire Garrett and Steve back?
I am not squaring off against any of these guys.
No, not these guys. Black people. Black people. You have issues with black people all day long, every day, 24/7. Square off with a black dude, not a black lady. I'll even let you start with Leslie Jones. Start with Leslie Jones, and then segue into black dudes.
Wow.
She would kick his ass.
Yeah, she'd eat him up.
Won't happen.
We know you're a coward. He's displayed his cowardice on many times, but again, fight one. You hate black people, fight them. Fight one. I'd say usually people, they like, instead of just pretending, instead of being an internet tough guy, be a real tough guy. You hate them so much, say something to them, fight them. Show them your superiority.
Ever profess to be that?
No, check your Twitter. You have. You almost never stop being a tough guy. Even the reason what really triggered me was the fact that he's literally lying. He said, Brennan sent me this email. I sent me this voicemail at 5:30 in the morning.
Right.
And I literally sent it while I was doing my show. So again, I had proof. I would never call Cumia at 5 in the morning. I don't call anybody. I don't call anybody anyway. But I'm not going to call him at 5 in the morning and say what? So I said it on my show, and I was tipped off immediately what a clown he was. So now he's doing the thing where, he's trying to, because he's got enough fans, so they'll be like, yeah, Brennan's nuts, even though he knows he's fucking lying. But again, he wants everyone to think he's this cool, calm, and collected guy. He sits on his show and everything's, he's just kind of, isn't it silly? Isn't it silly they went to Atlantic City? But in reality, he's a bitch. In reality, he's more pathetic than everybody. He's lying about what time I called him. And he knows, again, because everybody's phone tells you what time somebody calls, what time you text, etc. So he's trying to make up this narrative to gaslight his fans. Like, Brennan's nuts. Look how time he called me.
I wouldn't threaten somebody online like that. So him calling me an internet tough guy was pretty funny. Thank God he was able to get that in on Twitter before his Twitter account was suspended. This looks like a permanent one too, I think.
It was, Anthony, like your book, permanently suspended. Isn't that exciting? Is that impressive to you? Is that impressive to you? That I'm permanently suspended? Can I come on your show now? That's what he said after Sarah Silverman called me a white nationalist. He's like, maybe me and Brennan have more in common than I had originally thought.
I'm not even sure. Like, I can't even find his account anymore. So I don't know. He might be persona non grata for good on X.
Then what should I do? I hope he has some advice for me.
And it's another thing I don't really understand either, this canceling, reporting people, getting their accounts shut down. Like, it's cheap. It's a pussy.
Oh, he's on my side?
I guess in that aspect, yes.
Move. I'll kick your ass if you... It's just a pussy move. Let the...
No, the thing is, of course, he's trying to pretend like, he knows what I'm saying, and he knows he's guilty of it. But now he's pretending like, no, I'm never going to say, I'll put up your dukes. No, you hate black people, Anthony Cumia. You profess it 24/7 every day, weekends, holidays, summer, all the time. Fight a black dude. Let him know in person how you feel. He would go from bars on 35th Street. See, there's black people everywhere you can throw a stone. You're going to hit a black person.
There's a high ratio in that
high
area.
ratio. Good title. High ratio. He doesn't say boo. Then he gets on his train. He tells them how terrible they all are. He's just a coward. He comes to New York now on a regular, do Legion of Skanks or Jimmy Jam Norton and his lady boy. Flies up for that, but he can't fly up to fire his staff. I wonder why. Because you're a fucking coward.
The people have their social media.
Lauren got me canceled again.
If you're reporting for legitimate copyright issues, like there are people that post clips of my show all over the place. I see them. I look at them every day and go, oh, wow, look at that clip. That's nice. That person's getting, 10,000 fucking views. But it's few clips or something. And I'm fine with that. When people were posting entire episodes of my show the day they came out, yeah, I'm reporting that. That's my fucking bread and butter. You're taking food from my kids' mouths. So yeah, I report that. That's a legitimate concern. And even then, what happened to free speech? Free speech. It's my fucking show. This is my job.
Was he talking like Keanu just then? Wasn't he?
Try to get the reference. My job.
Oh yeah.
It's a movie reference.
But if it's just Kevin shit talking you, or playing a clip of your show, or sniping a part of your show, and talking over half of it, I don't see that as any reason to strike people or.
Okay, the bottom line is here's I'll explain everything to Anthony right now. It's pretty simple. There's they say Big Brother, you can't fight City Hall. All the big companies, they're in business together, and I'm not going to do I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. But the fact that I can watch Chad's show, I can watch Ray's show, I can watch Shuli's show, and there's no basically repercussions. But if I watch NBC, if I watch SNL, YouTube has a problem with that. Why? Why YouTube? Saturday Night Live put it out on YouTube, which is a video sharing company. So again, that's how it works. So if it's a big company, you got to worry, and that's how the big companies. That's all they are. They all hobnob with each other. They're like, we'll protect you, you protect us, blah blah blah. So it had nothing to do with somebody reported me. YouTube didn't like it that I was playing SNL, and Twitter didn't like it that I had a tweet with a guy who works at SNL. He's worked there for 50 years. So that's how they do it. I could have said that same thing about Chad Zumach. They wouldn't have cared. Again, I knew what I was doing. Even yesterday when I was watching SNL, I'm like, they might take the showdown. I was ready for that. I was surprised it didn't happen. 45 minutes in, after they said I was notified many times, I wasn't. I was notified at 10:27, and then they took me down at 10:29. Fact. So that's how it goes. You could. It's not. Like they said, all men are created equal. It's not true. And all businesses and all YouTube channels are not created equal. So if you think you could just watch any YouTube channel because you can watch some YouTube channels and there's no repercussions, hey, how come? And then, I watch Ray's channel. They never get mad about that. But if I'm watching SNL, a clip that they put up, it's not even live. The show is not live. They put it up. Again, but like if I watch a clip of ESPN, I'm always kind of like a little trepidation where I'm like, okay, what are they going to do? If I watch something from Stephen A. Smith, are they going to have a problem with this? But again, I watched it for like a half an hour. I watched a couple of different clips. Stevie Lou, your hack, long-winded, stupid jokes are hilarious. Oh wow.
Oh, thank you, Trumpet 07.
He did a switcheroo at the end.
Thank you.
Your hack, long-winded, stupid jokes are hilarious. I thought it was going to go a different way.
This is like I spend a lot of free time working on this sort of stuff. So
Since when is Cumia against Juvenile? 100%.
Oh.
Right. And again, like I said, the whatchamacallit show wasn't Juvenile.
Yeah,
The Opie and Anthony show wasn't Juvenile. And now that Cumia is sitting by himself in a shelter, in a bomb shelter in South Carolina with his gun and his money and his girl. And but they used to have a lot of shenanigans at Compound Media. Remember, Stevie?
Yeah, I mean, you're so juvenile, he might buy you an iPad.
I don't know what that means, but yes. Joe Burrow, voice sounds much better, KB. Was worried we wouldn't see you today. You're on to something big wearing the head sleeve, and I'm excited about it. I think I'm gonna attract a whole new demographic.
Yeah,
Isn't there a certain demographic of females that wear a head thing?
Yeah, I mean, at least oh wow, yeah, that's
and they're a big group, right?
It's usually just the eyes that you can see.
I might go to that.
But oh my God, imagine you show up one day like that. But like, if anything,
where do I get one? Can I get them on Amazon?
Yeah, I could order one for you if you need. They got them in my neighborhood for sure. They got all that. But yeah, it's like people could think that maybe you're some sort of like retired cosmonaut. Also, like maybe some Russian people could.
My numbers have been I've been doing well since I wore the headdress.
And also, it's like it seems like it's sort of like thermal protection as well. Like you were literally just out in orbit and back.
No, it is definitely thermal. This is where we're on my bike. This is what
like
Lamar
a heat
Jackson
shield from reentry.
No, this is what Lamar Jackson wears when he plays football under his helmet.
Right.
Because I can't wear anything on my head because of this. So the genius of these is they keep your head warm, they keep your neck warm. That's where you lose heat through your neck and through your head. So they keep that in, but you can wear a helmet, bike helmet, football helmet, or a headset.
Yeah, and you can call plays, you could do a podcast, all that. I feel you.
Age of Coral, I initially thought this whole back and forth was dumb, but then I remember Anthony can't do a live event without being picketed by.
Fuck.
They used to. I mean, dumb Keith the Cop. Keith the Cop. Remember Gavin did the thing at NYU and Antifa was outside and they were like literally fighting right outside the facility.
Yeah.
And he was just talking to some small group of kids. It wasn't even like at a venue there. It was just in a classroom or some meeting hall or whatever. And then that's when I first started there. So I'm like, so then we're gonna do a stand-up show at not Governors, but the other place, Brokerage.
Brokerage, yeah, the Brokerage.
So I go, yeah, we'll have blah blah blah. Pat Dixon, Aaron Berg, Gina Visconti, and Keith the Cop through email he goes, how about Gavin? I go, no, we're not having Gavin. This is after the fight at NYU. Right. And I just knew the owner of Governors, James, he doesn't want Gavin there anyway, and he doesn't want a fight outside of one of his venues. They're all in like neighborhoods. It's not what he's interested in. But of course, Keith is like, no, James, I'll talk to James and we'll shove it down his throat. Sure you will, Keith. Another
Jesus
tough guy.
Christ.
Another tough guy. Give him a gun. Give him a gun. He's a tough guy. Caddy Thorogood. Stevie, why haven't you gotten Kevin a giant pair of scissors yet and made him run in place? Content.
I mean, a foam finger, maybe? Giant running with scissors.
He wouldn't say this to Black Ron Fuddle's face.
Sometimes this shit is...
Kevin's dressed like THX 1138. Ask Liam to explain.
Oh, that is George Lucas's first film, and it's like a futuristic...
Which one?
The THX 1138.
No, I thought you were talking about this one. I thought you were doing a deep dive on this.
I'm trying to figure that one out still.
Okay, that's all right.
I knew the next one.
Kevin's dressed like yeah, we know you would know that because you're a nerd.
Oh.
Look at my user pic, you hacks, in chat. Is that me? Is that me in a hotel?
I don't know what. That's kind of creepy. I don't know what that is. It does look kind of like you. I don't think it is though.
All right, we're caught up. What? How long have I done? Oh, we've done enough time.
Yeah, if you want, I could also monologue for a little bit and try to stretch it out to 2 hours.
No, my throat hurts, my head hurts, everything hurts.
Well, we could do like this.
I tested negative again today, but I did a double check because I had another. They give you 2 in a pack, and then Bill from Jersey said he got 2 negatives, and then he just tested positive today. So I'm like, I already got the one here. I might as well use it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody was getting around last weekend, it was Bill from Jersey. You know, he had his fingers in all sorts of stuff. So, I mean,
did he have his fingers in fingers?
He that also, now that you say it. But I'm sure he really earned that COVID like a champ, I'm sure.
Adam is 2 hands. KB. KB, you wearing that thing because you got sick of your gobbler neck skin, beard, show on camera. Listen, Adam is 2 hands. If I'm wearing this in the summer, let me know.
Right.
If I'm wearing this when it's hot out, let me know. But maybe I'll just make it super cold in here so I can still wear it. Listen, I'm getting old. Ray was saying there's a clip of Ray saying, I don't look good anymore or something. But yeah. So Ray's like, when I did number 1 Son, I looked better. I don't really look at it like that. I think I still look the same. In fact, I think I'm getting more distinguished looking. And again, I said it before, I'll say it again. The Irish, when they look at younger pictures of Paul Newman or George Clooney, they look better when they're older. So
or Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon. I look too girly. With the Irish, with the blue eyes, it's just you got to kind of grow into your face when you're Irish. So I think I'm growing into my face. I think I look better now, but maybe I'm delusional. Who knows? But everybody else is delusional. Cumia thinks he's not a tough guy. He's not an internet tough guy, but literally watch his Twitter.
Yeah,
he's the epitome of a Twitter tough guy. He's the, what do they call him? Keyboard warriors?
And Olive Garden Italians.
Where they're all tough when they're sitting at their keyboard. They'll fight anybody about anything. But in real life, Cumia's like, I'm afraid to go to New York to look at Garrett. Unless he's going back to hire them. Caddy was referencing the Big Lebowski nihilist.
Thank you, nihilist. Age of Quarrel, thank you very much. In the Big Lebowski, he's having some sort of he gets hit in the head and he's having some sort of dream where these guys are dressed a lot like you in a black skin suit running with giant scissors. So that was a deep reference. I'm not going to lie. That is one of my favorite movies, so I should have gotten that.
I like how Caddy Thurgood sends the super chat. And then
Age of Quarrel figures it out.
And then Caddy's like, he didn't get it, but I don't care. And Age of Quarrel's like, I care. He cares. Good job. See, that's what we call an assist. We call that a super chat assist.
And it is actually kind of ironic because they are nihilists, the people holding the scissors, running with them. And right now, I'd say you're in a very much nihilistic state. Or a phase, at least, where you literally
look that up. But I think I agree, but I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, maybe the source can help confirm that. But it seems like
didn't that comic actor? Who's that actor that Chad got us? That he was in like
T.J. Miller.
Yeah, wasn't he a nihilist?
He's something, all right. Okay, so a nihilist is a person who believes that life is meaningless and rejects all religions and moral principles.
Well, I'm not that.
I mean, you don't reject all religions, but there's certainly one in particular that you reject, I'd say.
No, I'm just saying it's like I'm not. No, I'm just saying I call people. Whatever religion. If I was going to start a religion, I would just call it like it is. People can't handle the truth. Steve McQueen said that in a movie. People can't handle the truth. Steve, you're supposed to go. Steve McQueen didn't say in a movie. It was Jack Nicholson.
All right. Well, someone was saying that you're a nihilist.
Oh, a nihilist.
Yeah. So that's where I was caught up on that. And you're right. That was A Few Good Men.
Jack Nicholson was at the
At the 50.
thing.
Yeah.
No, but he looks like
He looks like he's going to die.
No, it looks like whatchamacallit, Weekend at Bernie.
Yeah.
Like he could barely talk. His hair was all brown. You could tell he like dyed his hair and he tried to make him look presentable. But, of course, Adam Sandler, being a good egg that he is, he's like, hey, can Jack Nicholson introduce me? Because, he doesn't get on TV a lot and he wouldn't like to come to say hello to everybody. Of course,
Wow.
it was awkward. And the fact that Adam Sandler would be like, hey, Jack's here. I'm like, yeah, we already saw. We saw, but he had to like go back to him and give him a nice round of applause because that's how insecure these Hollywood types are. They're like, hey, did they not? I didn't hear a lot of applause. They're not into me anymore, Adam. I am a nihilist. Good title. I am a nihilist. Stevie has the charisma of a corpse with gas. I'm guessing that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I do have some flatulence issues.